It is Barn Burner here in July. I was thinking we could do Rabbit, but it's kind of,
stretching it there.
Do you really think that we didn't say anything yesterday? How was your Canada Day? Do you still celebrate, being that you're a Yankee Doodle dandy now?
Basically? I'm a huge Canada Day guy.
Are you?
Massive.
Yeah.
Massive.
It appears as though you celebrated by growing a mustache.
Yeah, I had the gross, ugly beard, and I've slowly been chopping away at it, and I was going to continue and have the stash maybe for Stampede.
Because I wondered what was going on. Have you just gotten really gray in these?
Oh, there's parts? A lot of spots. Yeah, that it's not gray. It's
but this is by design. What we're looking at here. This has been carved and crafted.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Looks pretty good, buddy. Looks pretty good. How does the Shovelerino feel about it?
Oh, so pumped.
She's excited for it. Of course she would be. So did you do it? What'd you do? What'd you do yesterday? Did you get up to anything?
Went for some pizza. Went and had some pizza. I had to work on my dock. My dock was all contorted. And
did you trim the hedges around your dock? Because I hear it makes it look bigger.
I didn't know. That's all. I did that weeks ago.
Yeah. That's a full-time job. Anything I can do to make that dock at least appear a little bigger.
Dock maintenance is
some dock maintenance is right. Jackie boy, how we doing? You are truly a kind of a sort of Yankee Doodle dandy. Do you care about Canada Day? What'd you do?
I spent Canada Day hung over in my bed.
Attaboy.
The rest of the weekend was fun though. We were out in Canmore for my stepbrother's wedding. So lots of festivities and drinking. It was fun.
Yes.
But yeah. Canada Day was.
I do. They said it.
Did they go through with it?
Yes, they did.
Stupid. Terrible idea. Terrible idea. So stepbrother. Are you do you guys hang out like in the movie?
No, but I do with my other stepbrother. I have 3 stepbrothers. I live with one of them. We kind of have that relationship. This is the older one though.
Yeah. Bunk beds,
hang out.
Putting your bag on his drum kit or whatever it is. Isn't that? It's been a while since I've seen it. I knew there was a pouch and a drum kit involved. I'm not sure if the two actually met up, but well, that's good. I'm glad. I spent Canada Day on the old the road coming back from Manitoba Sask yesterday. The AC and the old rig decided, well, we're not going to work today. We're just going to take the day off.
Really?
Got a little sweltering, got a little sweaty in the old pickup, and then stopped for a leak, turned it back on. Oh, now you're going to work. So probably just should have tried that as soon as it stopped working. But a very adventurous time. Was out. I was talking about yesterday, the guy that doesn't do anything. I don't know if we're ready for it, Jack. I don't want to call for it. Are we good to go? Or not?
30 seconds.
All right. But I actually did go and do something on the weekend. Went back to Manitoba. We had a little shindiggy type of a thing on Saturday. And then on Sunday, went to the used to go all the time. It was every summer. It was the highlight of summer. Go to Dauphin's Country Fest, which is kind of like your Craven, the Big Valley Jamboree. They still have that in Camrose, I believe. Camrose still does the Big Valley Jamboree.
Craven,
Saskatchewan. Right? Now there's Country Thunders that are doing their thing. Essentially, your outdoor country music festival. And unlike some of them, where it's just a patch of ground, put the grandstand or whatever they call it, the stage and that, and you sit in your lawn chairs, or you sit around. This is at the Sela Ukraina in Dauphin. It's a lot of Dauphin. It's a Ukrainian influence. A lot of people, I guess, settled there, made their homes and their lives there. And they had the Dauphin, the Ukrainian festival, which Canada's biggest, the world's biggest, I don't know. But they built this sort of an amphitheater where there was a hill and they dug into it. They scooped a bunch of the dirt out and then fanned out seating. And going back to the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, they started bringing in, just some music festivals, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you had some of the biggest country music stars in all of country music coming through every Canada Day long weekend. Now it's kind of tailed off a little bit, as things do. Things get expensive, things change. but they had a celebration of the past this weekend. They brought back a bunch of the old classics. Now, I wasn't able to get there on Saturday. Alabama was there.
Baby.
The reviews are not glowing.
Well, getting up there.
The old the lead singer there sounds like he's in the mid to late 70s. Some can pull it off. It sounds like maybe Randy Owen can't. It's he's got a bit of the Biden thing going.
I was going to say him and Joe, they got to get together.
Joe, they're not in a hurry to get things done, I guess you could say. But so we didn't see that one. But I'll tell you what, we saw. Well, it was kind of the shits. Sunday, I was looking forward to it. Mark Chestnut was going to be one of the final three. Obviously not headliners because there'll only be one. But then he, I guess, had a little issue with his ticker or something. You know, as we get older, I guess. Not ideal.
That's a sign of, that maybe that they went really far back.
Maybe too far back. I don't know how. Now listen, not joking. Hey, Mark, if you're, and I'm sure you're watching, T's and P's, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Get well, be well. I was almost more looking forward to Mark Chestnut than any of the others that we were going to see on Sunday. But what do you do? What are you going to do? So the Country Fest folks, they needed to find a replacement. And the replacement that I'm like, okay, who's it going to be? Maybe it'll be somebody else that I'm very excited to see. It's not nice to talk shitty about people. Hey, Rhett, we don't like to do that.
No, never do it.
Don't do it. Don't like doing it. They brought in George Fox from Cochrane, Alberta.
I don't know that I know George Fox.
Yeah, you probably would. He was a Canadian country music artist. Had songs on the radio. I won't call them hits because I'm not sure that would be fair to hits.
Mm-hmm.
I said to my wife, I wonder, I'd love to know. I'd love to get a little bit behind the scenes and wonder how many phone calls were made before they got to George Fox. Hi, we were wondering if I'm busy. Can't do it. Nope. Sorry. How much? Nope. Not enough. What are we doing? How are we going? Nope. Sorry. No can do. George had a rough set. Had keeping the guitar in tune. You know, that sort of bang, 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 bang. You usually have a guitar tech, a guy in the back who's got 2 or 3 other guitars that he's constantly tuning and make. If you need it, so that's here, take this guitar, give me the one that's in tune, so that you keep the show rolling and you don't have to ding, 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 ding.
George thought he was on his couch.
Jesus Christ, George. Let's get it together.
George. Oh, he looks deadly.
Wear and tear on my heart. So there he is. Again, I don't like to talk shitty about George.
No.
He came in and
he did his damnedest.
He did his damn best, you know? So who the hell am I to sit here and
you weren't up there, were you?
I wasn't doing it. Ding, 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 ding. I could have maybe tuned the guitar.
That part.
Could have stood in the wings.
Maybe you should have contributed instead of sitting back criticizing.
Christ, have you only got one guitar? Like even I've got more than that. Let's go tune this shit up. However, the next one up there, and this I was also looking forward to seeing her. I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen her. I think maybe once, but it's obviously been years ago. Jody Messina, retro.
Jody.
She got some GD bangers and a little Heads Carolina, Tails California. She brought the house down. She was a beaut. Take a look. Let's go to Dauphin. I'll plant the seed, retro. There was that also. Jody Messina is going to be in Regina she's doing Craven, and I think is doing Camrose. If you get an opportunity, take it. She was friggin' awesome. Her voice is great. She had fun with the crowd, and banger after banger. Bye, bye, baby, bye, bye. We had a hell of a good time. And then
Looked like it.
the headliners came out, and I knew it's like you were there with me with your mustache. If you'd had a mustache and a couple whiskeys sitting up there, take a look at your headliners from Sunday night. Hell of a night. Is that a great setup or what?
That is pretty sweet, actually.
It's all because you're in an amphitheater.
It's an amphitheater, dude.
So you're no shitty seats. You're all hell of a good time. Clint Black was there Friday. Alabama. There were some others. Diamond Rio was there.
Any fights?
Not that I saw. You know what?
Oh.
Lovers, not fighters. There on at least on Sunday. But that was there were a lot of people waiting for Fishing in the Dark. They did Cadillac Ranch, I think, near the end with the encore.
Yeah.
I'm a working man.
Looked like the weather cooperated.
Oh, it was a great day. It was a perfect day. Blue skies everywhere. 25-ish, 24, 25.
Oh, wow.
Cooled off just enough at night so you weren't crazy, but it was a banger. So now I feel like I loved it. Was going for Stampede. Let's keep the momentum going. Are we going? What are we doing? Who's playing?
Party.
Let's go. Let's go.
Who is playing? I have no clue. Somebody asked me that. Anyone big coming?
Probably Dr. Dre or something like that. Anyway, it's a sports show, they say. You want to get into it? Because yesterday was not only Canada Day, they had some signings. It was
I tried to get into it on Friday night, and I didn't get into it. So
no, that's right. You did try to get into it. What happened? What's going on?
I could either hear or I could speak, but I couldn't. And then the video, I think the video I'd have been okay with, but it was one or the other. I couldn't accomplish both at the same time.
That's right. Yeah, we were doing the draft show on Friday we were doing whatever you want to call it, draft watch party. Anyway, the draft was on and we were talking about the draft as it was happening. And the Flames did not get Tijuana.
No.
Those dirty, dirty, dirty Utah Coyotes.
The damn hockey club.
Yeah. Swung in there and just scooped them up before they even had a chance. Didn't even have a chance. Couldn't even pass if they wanted to. There was no opportunity to all the humming and hawing that we did. It was all for naught.
Mm-hmm.
It was all for naught.
The hand wringing, waste of time and energy.
It was, yeah. Is he going to be able to handle the pressure? What's Dad going to do? Is he going to be able to hang it? Don't matter. None of it matters. And we tried to get Red in. His face showed up, and then we brought him onto the thing, and whoop, he went away. And then you'd come back in, and we couldn't see you. So we couldn't.
RJ threw me out there, and I thought I was all set to go, and then I realized, oh yeah, I didn't test. I starts talking, and there's nothing or hearing, and anyway, it was
yeah.
And being the committed fellow that I am, I spent a lot of time working on it.
Really stuck with it to troubleshoot, eh? Yeah, yeah. On a Friday night.
Yeah,
yeah.
No, this isn't working.
All right. Yeah.
And you guys are doing a fine job. So
draft show was a banger boomer. That was awesome. Yeah, we had fun. I had about 4 or 5 beers over the course of the process, which I found helped. We should try that on this thing.
That's not a bad idea.
Just, round off the edges a little bit, have some giggles.
Doesn't have to be a Christmas spectacular.
It doesn't quite need to be that. But so the Flames get a high octane defenseman at the 9 spot. Zane Parekh, lots of points, lots of skill. Not overly big, but you don't need to be anymore, right?
Fast.
Don't matter.
Skate.
CHL D-Man of the Year and super smart, like us, Red. Super smart.
What like, in reference to?
Like, has been finished college 2 years, or finished high school 2 years early.
Yeah, there's a lot of that cheating going on.
He been taking university.
Yeah, they do that online shit
for
to just get mom and dad
15.
to do it.
Is that how it is? Well, Zane, we don't give a shit. That's great, nerd.
Put up more points, Zane.
Just get some points, all right? Just let's work on our let's work on those tomahawk, the skating drill, and let's get
Mohawk.
I
think it's
is that what it is?
Crosby.
Can't use that anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get a dynamic, highly skilled defenseman. And, should it have been Zeev Buyum? Should it have been somebody else? How do you know? How do you know?
You know, in about 6 years.
Yeah. So just stay right here, talk amongst yourselves, and we'll let you know in about 6 years as to whether the pick was a good one or who they should have taken or any of that. I'll tell you what, though. A lot of the draft experts, the people that really focus on it, really like what Craig Conroy and the Flames did this weekend. Really high praise for the skill and smarts and just overall. Don't worry about how big they are. Don't worry about can they 200-foot game, all this stuff. Get them in. Players. Get them in. Get the hockey players. Get the guys who are really good hockey players, and then we'll craft them and take a look at them. So there you see. Parekh goes at 9. Matvei Gridin at number 28, leading scorer of the USHL. Andrew Basha, he's Calgary kid, Medicine Hat Tiger. My kid says, I was in a camp with that guy. He's a dick. I'm like, perfect. That's who you want.
That's what we need.
That's who you need. No, he was saying he remembered being in it was a Mount Royal camp or a Hitman thing. Anyway, so Basha, who a lot of people were kind of maybe at 28, take Basha. Basha at 28. Got him at 41. So feels like good value. Jacob Battaglia, Henry Muse.
Is that Bates boy?
It's got to be, right?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Spates boy. And then you go down the list, and people very excited about Luke Misa, Trevor Hoskins. Anyway, we shall see.
Not again, we don't like to shit talk anyone, but why are we excited about the 150th pick?
Some are.
Okay.
Some really are. But they just like the skill level of these guys, where you're not this big body, bit of and maybe they are a project or whatever, that they're not going to come out and say that anyway. But no, we really think that down the road, this is going to be this type of player. Just take good players, man. Just take good players.
Didn't outthink everybody else.
Don't try and be too smart.
Don't be too smart.
Just take good players, which again shouldn't be that hard, really, when you think about it.
I sure hope they're good players. If you think about it, if the players aren't good players, this retool, as they're describing it, really extends.
Yeah.
Right?
It's deep.
Gets real long.
Yeah.
And slow and arduous.
Yeah.
If some of these picks aren't real good.
That's right. Ken is back in. Henry Muse was a steal. So there you go. Steal.
A steal.
And I know people are saying, Battaglia isn't in any relationship debates. I'm calling bullshit. He's got to be. How many friggin' Battaglias? Oh, it's no Bates Battaglia used to play with the Carolina Hurricanes. No
Bates-
relation to this.
Oh, come on, please.
Come on. Bullshit. That's what I'm calling. I'm calling bullshit. Anyway, so congrats. Hey, congrats to Craig Conroy and all the boys, the old TB in there, and all whoever else, the scouts. Who else is scouting for him?
Alistair?
Sure. Well done, boys. Well done. But they said so. Boom. Look, I'm not debating whether or not they said so. I know they said he's not related. I'm still saying bullshit. I'm not saying bullshit to the guy in the chat. I'm saying bullshit to the Battaglias because they're a bunch of bullshitters. I'm sure you went to now. Is he any relation to Bates Battaglia? No. Not related at all. Not related. I'm not saying. Look, you know what? They were kind of. I think the Battaglia is a bunch of carnies and a bunch of liars.
Well,
you couldn't trust them.
Didn't they do that Amazing Race or whatever?
Sure. Yeah. Can't trust them. No. They're always trying to. Very slippery. The Battaglia
around
folks.
in that Amazing Race from city to city.
Yeah.
Sleeping at night.
I'd watch my wallet around these Battaglias if I were you. I would be just super, super careful. Now that was Friday, Saturday. Then there was Sunday.
Wait,
and
can I stop you though? Like, is there one of those, when we do our NFL fantasy draft rankings, did the Flames get a draft ranking? Like, is this something that I should have looked up? Are they like a C+? I think that's as high as I've ever got with my robo picks.
Yeah, I've never really, because when you go into Yahoo and you do your fantasy football, then at the end the old computer generator puts out a little
you're a clown.
Yeah. No, I think I didn't see, but then again, I don't really.
I got you.
How the fuck are you gonna? Kids are
6 years. We'll do it. 6 years. We'll do a ranking.
Yeah.
Okay, so that happened on Friday.
Yeah.
Then
Saturday, then they took the other rounds 2 through 7 on Saturday.
That's right.
Then
Felt
Sunday
bad for a few kids.
Did you?
Been in that spot myself. Thinking maybe I'm a first round, right on the cusp. Shit.
Yeah.
Came to Vegas. Don't even get to go up on stage.
Yeah. But then
better for you. All those kids at early second. Better spot to be.
Is it?
I think so. It might be a little bit different now, but those teams are typically the teams that are looking to get the youth into the.
Let's get you in.
Yes.
Rather than send you down to the
rather
A for
than
5
being
years.
an Oilers and signing Corey Perry. Another year.
Yeah. I've been drafted by the Oilers. They just signed a bunch of 30, 32, 35-year-old guys. Not idea. Anyway, we'll talk about them in a bit. So then a day of rest for Craig on Sunday. Although pretty clear there's some serious tampering involved, because then free agency opens and within 9 minutes teams have 7 years, like 7-year deals, 5 years, all this kind of hammered out. Amazing work they must be able to do behind the walls of these NHL offices.
They really understand the market and the players and what they're looking for.
Yeah. It's you couldn't sell a friggin' used car in the amount of time that they're putting together $50 million deals, but nonetheless, I mean, whatever. So what did the Flames do for? We can walk through it, and then what we'll do is for the old Pinder report, we'll walk you through some of the other ones because there was a lot of things going on. There was a lot of things going on.
NHL. Busy weekend.
Lots of things going on. We'll do it for McLeod Law. It's our opening statements today. McLeod Law, just because it's summer doesn't mean, I don't need a lawyer now. My legal issues, there's nothing that could come up between July and Labor Day. Things happen. Maybe you need some legal assistance. Maybe you need some legal advice. Peter Klein, personal injury guy. Did you know he's the go-to guy in Calgary for your disability insurance claim? Shane King, partner in the litigation and dispute resolution group. Employee rights, if you've been laid off or terminated. Whatever it is that you need. McLeod Law, Calgary-based, proud of their Calgary roots, and Calgarians themselves. You're not getting some Vancouver, Toronto law firm. trying to come in and pretend like they know you and know what your needs are. Challenge, whether it's business or personal, they're in it with you. McLeod-law.com. So the Flames, a few different things, obviously. There's, but I think maybe at the top, the tippy top, because now we had said, at least I had kind of said, hey, if you're looking for the Flames to be big participants on July 1, you're off your rocker. You don't need to pay attention. Craig should just take the day off. There's nothing to be done. I think they made 7 moves yesterday, something like that. 6, 7. Anyway, right at the tippy top, Yegor Sharangovich, retro. He's going to be around for a little while. 5-year contract extension, $5.75 million per season. He, of course, came over along with a 3rd-round pick in the Tyler Toffoli deal. 31 goals, 59 points over 82 games. Not too shabby to have. If you want to flirt with 30 or get 30 every year for $5.75 million, that is a hell of a deal. So good for him and good for the team.
Very nice for the team.
Very nice.
I think it's good. I like how he plays. Pinder keeps saying that he can't be a center. I don't agree, but regardless, I think he's a good fit.
This would be a good day to have these conversations when Ryan's not here, just to just blindly
debate. Just pound you over the head with
blindly disagree without listening to you. He got a little obnoxious the other night. I won't lie to you.
Oh, did he?
Oh yeah.
He wasn't going to be wrong. One of those types of obnoxious.
Yeah, it's just you are not going to be able to convince him in any way, shape, or form about why Jake DeBrusk would maybe be a decent option for the Flames.
No,
wasn't having any of it.
It'd be terrible. Somebody had told him, or he'd have thought of it, and it was just a shitty idea.
Yeah, Mike Gold brought it up, and it was just the facial expressions. Even like it was really it was hitting him right. It's a lot of that. So then Gold would kind of go into detail. No, I'm not saying that this is the perfect signing, but in this. So,
regardless,
whatever. And in the end, it didn't happen, so we don't need to worry about it.
Yeah,
we don't need to have 7 years of that happening. They did, however, do some other signings. They did dip into the free agent pool. They did find a winger, and I'm guessing if Ryan were here today, he may do a because Anthony Mantha signs a 1-year deal worth $3.5 million. Now, he would say the term is key, whatever. It's a 1-year deal. 6'5", 214, does not play big. Is big, does not play big. Last year between Washington and Vegas, 23 goals and 44 points over 74 games. I kind of thought he'd be a sneaky good ad for Vegas at the deadline because he is a guy that can get around the net.
To go, he can.
Yeah, right? He could pot some dirty goals maybe potentially, but it did not happen. He did not get anything done. So left shot winger, can play either side. This feels like one of those can't find the deal that he's really excited about. Where can I go and play a bunch and get some prime situational play? You're probably going to get into that top 6 if you're okay in Calgary. They'll find some room for you somewhere. You're going to get some power play time. Not every team's going to be able to do that for you. Put up some numbers, and maybe next year you get something closer to the deal that you're hoping to be excited about.
Again, another good signing, I think, because there's no downside.
They're not worried about dough because they have all kinds of dough, and it's a 1-year deal.
And if he's having a hell of a year, what are you doing with him at the trade deadline?
True. Could you exactly put him in a spot to get some points, to get some goals, and then be an option?
25 by the trade deadline, and then we'll move you for a first. It'll be great.
Yes. They're probably all on the same page, I would think, if that were the case. Also, if Ryan were here, he'd be saying over and over again the Lamborghini because he loves saying it.
Loves to say that. Yeah,
loves to say it. When you bring up Kevin Shattenkirk, he'll tell you Shat Deuces. There's just things that immediately trigger him. Ryan Lomberg is the Lamborghini. He's 29, signed a 2-year deal with the Flames. Now, if you're familiar, if you're like, I feel like I know this guy. Well, he did win the Stanley Cup just a couple weeks ago or a week and a half ago, but he also was a Flame for a number of years, signed an AHL deal in 2015, spent a couple of years in with the Heats down in Stockton. Would you have seen him? Maybe in
lots
trips down there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Then signed an NHL deal, 7 games in 17-18, 4 games in 18-19, but is no stranger to the Flames organization. He's a agitator, shit disturber.
Mm-hmm. Got his ass handed to him by that big bastard in Long Island.
Yeah. It was at Johnston.
Yep.
Don't fight Ross Johnston.
You don't have the reach, son.
You don't. The heart's willing, but don't.
I like how he plays. I never understood why they let him go. He's the kind of guy that you need and could throw on your fourth line and create some energy. And I like the idea of bringing him back because if he does play that way, the rest of them can't glide through the season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's going to be a drink stirrer and he's going to drag the other guys in because that's how he has to play.
Yeah.
I guess he could be sitting on his fat wallet now and Stanley Cup ring and stop playing that way, but I don't think he will.
It is, and I'll be honest, it is a little fat. 2 years.
Doesn't matter.
$2 million per.
Yep.
For the Lamborghini.
A Lamborghini. But again, I think that's exactly what Conroy is thinking. He goes, if you're looking at the lineup, you're going, okay, all these guys here are hoping to have good years and they're professional and this and that, but writing's a little bit on the wall that maybe we're not going to be right in the mix as far as Stanley Cup finals are concerned. But we're going to, so if we're struggling, where's the energy going to come from? Like, you don't want to end up like San Jose 10 games in and it's like, oh God, what a disaster ride we have the rest of the way. Lomberg is going to bring some energy to the building.
He's not a deterrent or a intimidator in any way, right? Yeah. But he's a guy that's going to bring some energy pretty much every night. And he, like he had said yesterday, he kind of had a funny feeling about the Flames, that he wondered if it was going to be Calgary coming in. So good for him. I mean, here's a guy that parlayed a decent little NHL career here out of just about nothing, because he's not overly big. He's certainly not skilled. It's just his work ethic, his attitude, and his heart that have got him a Stanley Cup ring. And he's been a full-time NHLer. He spent 4 years in Florida, played all 82 games last year, got into 75
in the minors.
Yeah. So good for him. Good for him. Coming back to Calgary. Fans will like him. He's a fan favorite. Now, the Oliver Kylington thing, it's just does not seem like it's going to happen.
I don't know where to go with my thoughts on this. So I'll just go with my gut and say, if you don't want to be here, get out of here.
Yeah, I guess so.
You've been given the opportunity. The team has supported you. I can't imagine they're trying to stick it to him. And even if if you're him, what's your interpretation of getting it stuck to you? You know what I mean? Like, what do you think they're offering him less than he made last year? Or what about the year that he didn't play and collected?
Yeah.
Is he making less than that? Probably not. I think there's and again, if we don't know it, but this is just my expectation, is that it would be the same, if not a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And the team has done right by this guy. And this guy, highly touted, goes later draft, spends some time in the minors, finds his way in a season where we didn't think he was going to be even noticed. And all of a sudden you're like, Jesus, I love how this guy's playing. Everyone's pulling for him. Everything's going good. And then he has that year off where things aren't going well personally. But the Flames stick with them. The fans stick with them. He comes back last year, gets in some games, is a player who would be given a ton of opportunity this year. Just like Mantha. Have a big year. Like, I don't think the Flames want him to fail. Yeah. I don't think they're trying to hold him back. Come prove it. We got to know that you're going to be here and be able to do it again. And he really hasn't done it. And if he's expecting to get a ton of dough and he maybe can get it somewhere else, I guess that's his prerogative. It just feels wrong to me after what the Flames and how they treated him when he needed them.
Yeah, and it comes down to business, of course, right?
Yeah, it does come down to business, but the business isn't such that he doesn't have an offer here.
Yeah.
Right?
And he probably feels like I don't need to do any more short-term deals. I don't need to do 1 to 2 year things. I want some term. Whereas the Flames, listen, just strip it away. We just lost you for a full season. So for us to go in on a 5-year, 4-year, 6-year pact or whatever, it's hard to have not even faith, but it's not smart to go in when we know
hasn't been that good.
Hasn't been that good and missed the year and. So can things circle back around? Perhaps. They've got room for D, they've got plenty of cap, but it does feel like one of those things where he's committed to moving on, and the Flames have given their best offer. You don't go add to it now, because they do go out and I mean, it's just, I guess, final note on Kylington is now you've seen a lot of teams spend their dough. He's not an $8 million guy, so there's teams that could afford him. But I am curious to see if the next day or 2 or 3 pass. So now?
Yeah, what are you getting from somewhere else that's so?
Yeah,
great?
are you maybe as attractive as you maybe thought you were? Because the league has kind of spoken. I mean, whatever. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how that goes. But the Flames, pretty much knowing that he was going to be leaving, they're already thin on D. They signed Jake Bean, a former first rounder, a 2-year deal, $1.75 million per, with the formerly of the Columbus Blue Jackets, was drafted by Carolina. He is the son of current Calgary Sports and Entertainment Corp Vice Chairman John Bean. I don't know if you knew that. Trivia. Wow, your friends at Wings today with that one. Left shot, 6'1", 176, played for the Hitmen with his junior, and it was a 2016.
Did you say 176?
That's what it says here.
That's pretty slight, isn't it? Like, I know these
slender. You know what it is, Rhett?
Huge anymore, but 175 is over 6 feet.
Fit.
Oh, okay, good.
So fit.
Good.
His body mass index thing is just
the BMI
so
is wonderful.
Great
BMI.
The charts. Yeah. 197 NHL games between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Blue Jackets. Was traded for a second rounder in 2021 offseason. Couldn't break through in Carolina, but they're deep, at D, or at least they were back then. Carolina really strong on the blue line. Now, Columbus, maybe not everybody flourishes in Columbus.
Doesn't seem to be.
You know?
The potting soil is not.
That's right. Not everybody goes to Columbus and watches their career just explode. This guy was born to be a Blue Jacket. I don't know what else to tell you. That didn't happen. Anyway, it's Def D.
Hey, I like the kids that are wanting to be here. Go ahead. Let them play.
It's from here. Family tie, the whole thing. Wants to be here. Come on in and play. And you probably may be able to play a little bit. Just there he is.
Hopefully the old man's not down in the coaches.
Yeah, see there it's saying 191. So
yeah,
I don't know.
That makes 176 is pretty light.
We'll do some fact checking with the Flames Nation statistical department, but I believe that came from, it doesn't matter. Attaboy, Jake. Good to see you, pal. 26 years of age. Just entering his prime, Retro. Think about you at 26.
Oh,
hey?
buddy.
Right?
New to
best is
Calgary.
yet to come. Yeah. Best is yet to come. Some other minor league stuff. Martin Furk, who was a Detroit Red Wing at one time, and also he was an Alan Walsh client. So if you follow Alan Walsh on Twitter, you'd know a lot about Martin Furk. Justin Kirkland but another guy coming in. What are they doing in net? Are they going to look for some depth goaltending? They signed Devin Cooley, 2-year deal, first year.
The Rabbit Man.
WTF? Why that face?
The Rabbit Man.
Is he the rat? What's the Rabbit Man?
I saw something today. I thought it was Devin Cooley with a rabbit, hugging a rabbit with a Flames jacket on the rabbit. Check the Twitters.
2-year deal. First year, one-way deal.
Oh,
Is this our second year too? I thought it was the other way around. Anyway, it's a 2-year deal for Cooley. Now, this guy's got some size. He's 6'5".
BMI.
Played in the USHL, University of Denver, then goes to the American Hockey League with the San Jose farm team. Spent last year, he was a Sabre for a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then went to San Jose. Not a lot of guys go to San Jose as far as goaltenders and put up great numbers. So don't judge old Devin Cooley. Old rabbit.
There it is.
Is that a real rabbit?
That's a rabbit, from what I can tell.
Tis. Well, maybe he's got kids, eh? Maybe a kid's got a...
Okay, but if he's got kids, why didn't he have the kids in the picture instead of the rabbit? It's fine. Do your own thing. I just thought it was interesting.
So here's a guy, right, that's going to be able to he's going to be able to play for the Heats. He's going to be able to play for the Flames when they need him, if they need him, right? If Vladar isn't ready, if Vladar has issues with his lingering issues with his injury and rehabbing and coming back from that.
Hippocamp.
And then the following year, depending on what happens with Dan Vladar, he'll be a free agent. Cooley will have a contract. You could maybe have a Wolf Cooley tandem in 2 years, or he may never play a game for the Flames. It's hard to say.
But a lot has happened. We don't have any clue if any of it's good or bad, but
he was ready. I'll tell you though, in the event he was going to sign a deal with the Flames, he had that rabbit sweater ready.
That's true.
You want guys that want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I was in Buffalo. I played in Denver. I went to San Jose. I've been just waiting to break out this rabbit sweater with the flaming C on it. Finally.
What a relief for the kid. And the rabbit. Can he bring rabbits across the border? Is that a...
I don't know. He's a California guy too. Forget where exactly he's from. Los Sarcos or anyway. So that's kind of what we're looking at now. They lost some guys. Your boy Dennis Gilbert went back to Buffalo.
Nice.
He's going to be a Sabre.
AJ
Greer, Greersy, he gone.
Yeah.
Florida Panther, 2-year deal. TJ Brody isn't coming back.
What?
No.
We don't have D.
Chicago Blackhawk. He's going to Chicago.
Wow.
Probably making too much money. I think it was like $375.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But I will be honest, it's all still a little bit foggy because a lot happened yesterday. I was driving, so I was away from any kind of, and then I got home and I was so tired, Red, because I didn't.
Very tired. Long drive.
I was fishing in the dark the night before on the Cadillac Ranch and all that. Then I drove all the way across the prairies, and then, big boy's got to have a nap. Got to have a nappy poo.
I'm just glad you made it safe and sound, buddy.
Thanks, bud. Feels good to be back. Yeah, feels good. So that's the Flames story. I would guess goaltending done. They add a winger. There's some potential trades maybe that could take place. Now, Shane Pinto is a name. He's a guy, 23 years old, a centerman with the Ottawa Senators. He was the guy, I don't know if you remember, was
he's a wascally wabbit.
He really is. Yeah, times got hairy for him earlier this season. I think he was on his Betway account doing something. Anyway, it was implied and then I guess proven that he had been doing some online betting, some betting of some
nefarious activity.
Yeah, some unsavory activity and behavior. Anyway,
and we're all for it. Come on in.
He's looking for a deal. Now Steve Steo says, you guys are full of shit. He has not asked to be traded. Other people are saying Shane Pinto wants out of there. He wants a deal. He can't get a deal. He doesn't want to be a Senator. Get him out of here. I wonder if Craig Conroy's sniffing around somebody like that, because there's a lot of needs, because they are very close to having stripped it right down to the wood here. Since we last talked, they also traded Mangiapane. He's gone for a second-round pick, which is
There's one thing I'm disappointed in. I think everything's going just smashingly for Craig, doing a great job until the season starts and they're no good. But I wish they'd use some of this cap space to eat some of the deals that were buyouts. And I don't even know who, but I know there were buyouts, and you could have probably taken on those contracts and gotten something in return for them and used that cap space. It doesn't look to me like they're really going to do that.
You can still take on the thing about that was because Jack Campbell, right? He gets bought out in Edmonton, but he had a number of years left.
Yeah.
Skinner got
certain circumstances.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Skinner or Campbell, but weren't there other guys that, and it still can happen. I'm sure there's still guys out there where you can help a team out by taking a contract. But I
think that as you get closer to opening night and teams need to get under that cap, you might still be able to. But yeah, there was a Jake Wallman deal where he was dealt and a second round pick went along with the player, and the player's like, oh shit, maybe this guy could play for you and you get a pick. Anyway, maybe there's still that opportunity. But I'm with you. I thought that maybe we would see something there. But the Pinto one's interesting. You have plenty of cap space. You have plenty of draft.
The problem with the Pinto one is, though, that you're going to have to give up to get him.
Yeah.
You're not getting a player and a piece.
But you're hoping you're getting a
real good player, for sure.
Right? He's 23.
I'm fine with the Pinto deal. I'm just saying that I don't think that they, and again, it can still be done, but I was hoping to see some cap gymnastics where they take on a guy, because they've got plenty of spot defensemen, forwards. Like, it's not like the lineup is so set that you can't take a guy for 2-3 years and say, who cares?
Yeah.
And Pinto, sure, but Pinto's let's get better fast.
And it's hard to say too. Every player wants something different. If he's not happy in Ottawa, what's to say he's going to be happy here? The Flames don't look like the Flames are further away from winning than the Senators seem to be right now. You don't want guys that don't want to be here, especially when the team's potentially going to have some tough sledding here for a little bit. You start losing and you're grumpy to begin with. No good. Can't have it.
Headaches.
No can do. So that's kind of the scoop there for McLeod Law. McLeod-law.com. Yep. We'll do the Pinder report here in just a wee second. We'll go through some of the other things. Everybody likes to give out their, like you had said, for the draft. Here's an A+, here's a B-, here's a D for their free agency. It's maybe a little easier to gauge because you know more what the players are and what they're going to make when it comes to July 1. But there's a lot of the, hey, they did some really good work today. And then a year or two down the road, they're buying out a lot of the guys that they signed on that day when they were a real home run hitter on July 1st. We'll see how it goes. But want to tell you about Spring Financial. Unexpected expenses. Listen, it's summertime. I was telling you things happen, right? Unexpected expenses, they're going to show up. Your car breaks down. Your home needs repairs. Kid needs a new hockey stick. Whatever. Well, you can borrow money for those unexpected expenses right from your phone, receive an e-transfer within hours with Spring Financial. Spring Financial offers online personal loans from $500 up to $35,000 with no stress, no branch visits ever. Join thousands of happy customers who have made Spring Financial Canada's top-rated lender. Apply in 3 minutes at springfinancial.ca/barn. That's springfinancial.ca/barn.
Looking for the fastest personal loan in Canada? Well, look no further. Spring Financial offers fully online personal loans with zero stress and no need for branch visits. But don't take our word for it.
Thank you. Thank you, Spring Financial.
Thank you very much.
Spring Financial is the best.
Apply today at springfinancial.ca.
Stuff happens. Springfinancial.ca, there to help you out. Again, that website for just a little bit of, you may as well use the code. You may as well use that special website. springfinancial.ca/barn. Barn being, it's short for barn burner. I don't know if you caught that. BARN. springfinancial.ca/barn. Somebody was asking, were you, Fred's gone. Tinkle, do you think, Jack?
Yeah,
he had to go.
He needed to tinkle really bad.
He needed to tinkle, eh? Yeah. Fair enough. It's this, you know what it is? It's a blonde summer. Barn burner blonde summer. I stopped by Origin at their they've got the original tap room, of course, in Strathmore, where the big birthday party every August long weekend is coming up. And it happens every year. They got the tent out back. Awesome party. That's coming up. They've also got the new location here in Calgary. So they got like 2 breweries now. 943 28th Street Northeast, still going strong at 60 Spruce Park Drive in Strathmore. And especially the one here in town now. How do you get Barn Burner Blonde? How do we get Origin? Do you have to go to Strathmore? Do you have to get it delivered? Well, it's the OC, Origin Calgary. In addition to the malting brewing facilities out in Strathmore, they've now got this tap room and brewery here. Easier than ever to sit down for a pint of Origin or grab your take-home cans, your growlers, even kegs for yourself. The address again, 943 28th Street Northeast. But it is a Barn Burner Blonde summer. 4.2%. I did swing by Origin before I went back out on last week, I guess, middle of last week. A lot of these from the fellas back home. They were on the golf cart, in the golf bags. They were around. There was a lot of Barn Burner Blonde enjoyed last week out in Manitoba. As we spread the love, we spread the joy. If you've not yet had it, Barn Burner Blonde. Now it's about all the Origin. We had the raspberries going, had the homegrown going. Barn Burner Blonde. It's light. It's easy. It's 4.2. It's a chugger, buds. It's a chugger. So grab some for yourself. If you've not yet tried it, if you have tried it, get yourself some more. 943 28th Street Northeast. And you can get some merch and everything else that's going on there.
Sick merch.
It's a blonde summer. It's a Barn Burner Blonde summer. We'll get you through a lot of these signings now. And we'll do it for, this will be the Pinder report. No snakes, no crocs, no bullshit with the Pinder report today. People be like, oh, that's why I come here. I come here for the spiders and snakes. It's the Village Honda Demo Clear Out. Village is ready to move on from their 2024 demo models. You can save hundreds, even thousands of dollars on these vehicles. They're like new, have extremely low mileage, and of course have been taken extremely good care of because it's their vehicles. They've kept them in like new condition. Check it out online or swing by. It's villagehonda.com, and they're located in the Northwest Auto Mall and online at villagehonda.com. And I guess I can play he's not here, but whatever. So we told you we got the Flames story kind of taken care of. Sharon Govich extension is probably the big news. They bring in Anthony Mantha on a one-year deal. We'll see where he fits in. He's a winger. And Jake Bean, the defenseman, comes in. So those will be the immediate NHL impact that we're going to see. And we'll see what happens with Devin Cooley and his rabbit.
Rabbit.
The Nashville Predators. How about Barry Trotz and the Nashville Predators? Now, you can go on July 1, you can spend a bunch of dough, and like you say, everyone's going to say, you did great. You did awesome. What do you make? I'll throw it out there because Steven Stamkos, you'd been really, you were on record. You had said, if I'm Tampa Bay, I'm not bringing him back.
Yep.
I'm not giving him another long-term big money deal. I'm not doing it. And they didn't. They very much, Julian Brisebois, like Conroy and so many executives listening to Barnburner, listening to Warner do his thing. Barry Trotz goes 4 years, $8 million per for Steven Stamkos to go to Nashville. They also add Jonathan Marchessault from the Vegas Golden Knights, 5 years, $5.5 million per. Defenseman Brady Shea, he comes in and goes 7 years, $7 million per. They were going to, it's like they're going to maybe trade Saros. They're not trading Saros. They signed him 8 years, $7.74 million per. They got a backup in Scott Wedgwood. Alexander Carrier comes in as well. So this is a team that already with Philip Forsberg and Roman Josi and Saros, he's going to be there. You now add Stamkos and Marchessault and Shea. What do you didn't like Tampa Bay giving Stamkos that money? What do you think of Nashville giving him that money?
I don't. In general, I thought a lot of older guys got a lot of money on a lot of long-term deals. Now, the 4 years might not seem like terribly long, but he's 34, correct?
Yeah,
he's
there.
I don't dislike it, but I don't think he needed to do it. I think Nashville went from out of the playoffs, going to sell, to one hell of a hot streak. And I think maybe that team gelled and they came together. And I think Burnett's a great coach. I just don't know why you want to go older in today's game. I don't Marchessault. I think he's a really good player. And 5.5 seems more appealing than an $8 million albatross, because if Stamkos ever slows down,
yeah,
that's what you've got. I'm not appalled at anything. I feel like you're better off continuing to build than going and signing all these, especially the amount of players they brought in. Like, one of the strengths of the Nashville team last year was the fact that they gelled and came together as a team, and all of a sudden they're playing really good hockey the second half of the year. Yeah. What happens? We got 6 new guys in there. Yeah. Well, I don't know how, maybe it's not quite 6, but it's a lot of big name, big personality, and maybe not even big personality, but key players that are going to take spots where other guys had been. You're not going to bring in Stamkos and put him on a checking role. So I don't know. They must feel like they're close if that's what they're going.
I see both sides. I think the other part of it has to be, we see Dallas, you see it's the tax-free markets, right?
Yep.
That you come here, no one wanted to really be in Florida, but all of a sudden, hey, it's tax-free and the weather's okay and the team's really good. We like being in Florida. Nashville's never really got there. They had Paul Kariya, they had Peter Forsberg, right? Like, there was maybe there's subtraction, but it never. I think this is their stab at saying, look, players will come here. We're a tax-free. We can be a good team, all that sort of thing. Does Marchessault sign if Stamkos also isn't there because they were teammates in Tampa Bay? I don't know. Marchessault said they talked before he signed. I kind of get it, but at the same time, I'm with you. These types of deals could age really poorly, really quickly.
Well, and again, I always go back to who knows them the best.
Yeah, the teams that just
right. Like, if Brisebois thought that Stamkos had 6 good years left, do you think he's letting him walk? Probably not. I don't know. I know what you're saying as well as about Nashville, and it is a good tax situation, and they might be finally trying to take a stab at it. I just don't ever see these teams that try and take these stabs ever. That's how they get successful. Like, what did Florida do to elevate from where they were 3-4 years ago to what they are? I guess Tkachuk, but that's a trade. Mm-hmm. That's not a free agent signing. Like, what teams in the last 5 years have made a free? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe free agent, but who? I don't think.
It's generally not the.
It's not usually the way to success. You can maybe add one piece, like that defenseman Shea. Absolutely,
yeah,
he's going to play good D, and I'm okay with that. But to do a whole bunch of pieces, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't. All it takes is one long playoff run, and it's all worth it. But I just don't know that. I guess you maybe Florida say Bobrovsky.
They also have a recent first-round pick, Ashkarov, the goaltender, who has to be looking now. So you brought in Wedgwood for 2 years. You've signed Saros for 8. They're going to you got to trade this guy. And the word around the draft was they're going to want a top 5. They want high-end prospect for this. Of course they do.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to have 6-pack abs.
Celebrini, but
these are not likely going to be happening anytime soon. Maybe a chance. We'll see. There is a lot to like there. Like you say, you like the coach. Barry Trotz trying to get some things done as a GM. Everybody loves Barry Trotz. It is a great town. They aren't terrible, but they've always had that kind of, we're good goaltending, good on D, but we don't really have a whole lot up front. We're not very explosive. Maybe they can be a team that feasts on a 30% power play and gets some wins. Who knows? But they go and they spend some money to be sure. At the very least, 4 years for Stamkos. Still, how old are you going to be when it's done? At least the term is not terrible. Now, the Lightning, they save the Stamkos money. They give all of it and more to Jake Gensel. They trade for his rights prior to July 1. They keep him 7 years, $9 million per. That is all the money for Jake Gensel. I like the player. I've talked to him. Love to have a guy like Jake Gensel. This guy plays hard. I thought he was okay, good to okay for Carolina, but obviously wasn't enough to push them over the hump. But you're running to get a pen when Tampa Bay says, how about 7 times 9?
Oh God. Yeah.
Scored 40 twice.
That's the catch for me with the Stamkos thing. It's like, do I want Gensel at 9 for 7 years, or do I want Stamkos for less for 4? Like, I don't know what was being played out against each other. I just don't know that Gensel is $9 million for me. That's like a Lindstrom, like the Flames last year, not Lindstrom. Does that sound right? The way I said it? Sure. Yeah. That's like the Flames, for lack of a better word, caving to Lindstrom last summer, saying, yeah, take it. We'll give it to you. I think Gensel might be a slightly better player, but is he 9 times 7? Oof,
Are you meaning Lindholm?
Lindholm, that's the word I was looking for. That's where I was hoping for you to jump in. Yeah.
I wasn't sure you were talking about Caden Lindstrom, who was just drafted, and then
Lindstrom, no, the defenseman, he was really good in Detroit. No.
Hey, it's okay.
Lindholm.
Yeah.
Lindholm is the word. Yeah. But to me, it's a bit like that. Like, you give them everything. And I don't know that I don't know if they're a Gensel away. I didn't think he was that good in the playoffs. He was good, but I think that's what he is. Good.
Yeah. It's a change. He's 29. He's had, as I said, he's had 2 40-goal seasons. He's a very good player, but 9 feels like your elite territory when you start looking around. And I know that you can't just go get elite guys, but they're spending a little bit more, or it's Stamkos money for Gensel, and maybe you're getting more production, different production. Who knows? It's a change anyway. And that was the other thing, and you had kind of said it. You won some cups here, but you've lost to Florida. You didn't get out of round number 1 this year. You're up against it. You need to change something.
Yes. I think there has to be change. And if Kucherov and Point setting you up, maybe Gensel's going to have one hell of a year, and maybe 9 won't sound like any problem.
Yeah.
But I do think that the Tampa needed to make some changes. So I guess they've done that with Stamkos leaving, and then Gensel. Like, it's even a bigger deal, but I don't know. They'll be good. I just don't know. I do believe there's more changes that need to be made, only because the team's been together so long.
It feels like, in a way, they had the gift of the Stamkos contract expiring. Mm-hmm. Here you go. Here's a contract. Here's a bunch of cap space back, some flexibility, some freedom. You can finally breathe a little bit under the salary cap, and then you just blow your brains out again.
Yes.
None of these deals age well, and I mean, we'll talk about Toronto in a minute. I guess if you run your team, if you run things based on long-term, smart, whatever you want, I guess that's because no one does it. No one really does it. They spend and spend and spend and worry about it later. So also today, Victor Hedman signs a contract extension, 4 more years, $32 million, $8 million per. That's not bad, eh? $8 million for Victor Hedman.
Yeah, take that.
So Gensel's making 9 and I'm making 8. What the H is going on here? Anyway, you mentioned Lindholm. He wanted $9 million. He turned down, we're to believe he turned down 8 times 8 from the Flames. Goes to Boston, 7 years, $7.75 million. which still feels like an awful lot for Elias Lindholm.
Especially after the way he performed last year. If last year was supposed to be his big year,
it didn't look...
it wasn't very big.
He's 29. Last year had 15 goals.
15.
And 44 points between the Flames and Vancouver. Didn't really fit in either spot.
44 points.
I believe that's correct. 32 with the Flames, another 12 with Vancouver. Had 10 and 13 in the postseason. But yeah, it was a bad year. It was a bad year, and we felt like he had cost himself a bunch of money. Now, I guess he did if he was looking for 9 times 8, right? But he was never going to get 9. He'll go to Boston. It's a good team.
It's a good fit.
If he can regain.
But he needs to play. He needs to be a really solid centerman again.
Yeah.
44 points ain't going to do it.
Fresh start, different conference. It's a huge life change for him.
Wasn't Vancouver supposed to be the fresh start and the uplifting and the pouty pants was ending? I don't know.
I don't know either. They also dip into the former Flame and Canuck pool. Nikita Zadorov signs 6 years, $5 million per.
I think they'll be sick of him in 3.
Yeah, I
don't even dislike the player. You just see the track record of the teams he's been on, and there's always circumstances and this and that, and teams and blah blah blah. But 6 years for a guy that's moved around a lot.
Yeah,
I think he can play good. I liked how he played against Edmonton in the playoffs. I think he had a really good year. I think he believes in himself, maybe a little too much at times. I think he'll be effective, but I think he'll wear out his welcome eventually.
That feels very much to me like if you go to 6 years, we'll do it, right? You squeeze that extra year because 5 feels like kind of the max for a guy like that, and they go 6. Drafted by Buffalo, as you mentioned, 2 years there, then goes to Colorado, then a year in Chicago, comes to Calgary for 3, then spends basically the full season, 54 games, I guess, with the Vancouver Canucks. Vancouver really wanted to keep him. I don't think that was lip service. I think they wanted, and you wonder now, right? Here's a team that wanted you, and you played well there. You thrived. You had the fit was a good one. And you elected to say, no, I'm going elsewhere. I get you've been in this position. I'm guessing none of the rest of us have. But when you look at it and say, it's money, man. We are talking about 6 times 5. That's even I can do that math. And I don't think he was going to get that kind of dough from Vancouver. So anyway, that's the Boston story. So I guess good luck to both Elias and Nikita.
Go get him.
Or we don't care. So the Florida Panthers, they bring back Sam Reinhart and Dmitry Kulikov. They lose Montour. They lose Lomberg, Oliver Ekman-Larsson. So the Cup champs, they'll retool and they'll go back at it.
The Reinhart's deal.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was crazy.
Had to keep him.
Yeah, I think so.
There again, great fit. You've seen the other side and how it works when you don't win and don't make the playoffs and live in a whatever. I don't want to shit on Buffalo, but I think it would be easy right now to sign that extension. That's why I wonder for some of these guys, like again, Montour, we'll talk about him. He got all the money. Lomberg got a ton of money to leave, but it'd be hard to go. They're still like body surfing in the ocean.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to actually, I would have to get McLeod Law involved in this. Like, if you're drunk and signing these contracts, is it
binding? I was so hammered.
I didn't even know I signed it.
It was Canada Day. I was bombed. I was on mushrooms and come on.
Can't hold me to this. Reinhart wakes
really
up in a
going
week.
To
what?
Utah? No. Washington.
What did Montour get?
Okay, we can jump there. 7 years, 7.14 million per. So that's your career deal. Another guy that bounced around, in Anaheim. Good young D. I wonder why Anaheim got rid of him. Then Buffalo, like, geez, good player, goes to Florida. You know, it was always that. And I guess it was because we're probably gonna have to pay this guy $7 million a year on a long-term deal, and he's gonna just walk. Boy, it's a lot of dough.
It's a lot of dough. I think he flourished in Florida. Obviously, he had a good fit in the big win there, but wasn't as good this last playoffs as the year before. I didn't think
his regular season last year was superb and not as good this year as well. So, Seattle, the Kraken, Ron Francis. Maybe check him. Was he on shrooms? I don't know. Do they do that in Seattle, or is it all just weed?
No, they mix and mingle.
Is it all? Because he goes 7x7 basically on Montour, and then Chandler Stevenson won a cup with Washington, went to Vegas, won another cup there. Good centerman, good player. 7 years, $6.25 million. So you're locking a couple guys in here.
A lot of dough, and wish you well.
Yeah. Oh, maybe the Flames could use some. Are they gonna sign a guy like Chandler Stevenson? Holy smokers!
No, you go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, Ronnie, he's all yours. 30 years old, had 16 goals and 51 points. His career high is 21, and he had that in Vegas the year before they won the Stanley Cup. But man,
the good player, took the cup to Emma Lake. Good guy.
Did he? Eh? He's Saskatoon boy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I have no idea the depth of where Seattle is. You know what I mean? And as far as their lineup goes, so maybe it's a really good fit, but it just feels like another free agent July 1st signing. It's like, okay, I'm going to get the money.
Yeah. I didn't see what the media day stuff with Ron Francis was, but I'm betting these guys are winners. They both have rings and leadership and veteran presence and intangibles, I'm guessing, is a lot of what he maybe would have trotted out there. Because if it's just on level of play, I mean, Montour's not a 1-2, not a universal 1-2, and Chandler Stevenson's I don't think he's a universal number one. And I guess for a number one center, you're not going to get it 6.25. Anyway, that's the Seattle story. The Vegas watched Marchessault leave. Stevenson, as we mentioned. Alec Martinez goes to Chicago. Mantha leaves to Calgary, although he barely played there. They signed Ilya Samsonov, the former Leaf goalie, 1 year, $1.8 million. So that's the scoop there. I'm waiting on the Leafs till the very end. Jake DeBrusk not coming to Calgary. Vancouver, 7 years, $5.5 million per to go and play with whatever they got there.
Sedins.
Yeah. And Burrows. So good luck to Jake.
I like that signing, actually.
Yes, you know what? For a team that feels like they're there, we're going to be a good team. We're kind of in whatever window to win. We're a competitive team. We expect now for the next 5 years, we're going to be a playoff team. Get in and see what happens. I like DeBrusk. I don't think 5.5 is crazy. It never really felt like he was long for Boston, oddly.
Didn't feel happy in Boston.
He was in, he was out, he was in, he was out. They changed the coach. It didn't really seem to affect the tone there. I thought he was good for them in the postseason. So he goes to Vancouver. Also, big hulking defenseman Vincent Desharnais of the Oilers went to Vancouver.
Oh.
Yeah. Carolina, they lose Gensel and Shea and Pesci. Shane Gostisbehere goes in. Sean Walker, who was traded from Philly to Colorado, he signs there. The Blackhawks did a whole bunch of stuff. Tyler Bertuzzi leaves the Leafs, goes to Chicago, 4 years, $5.5 million. Pat Maroon continues to find work. 1 year, $1.3 million. 1.3.
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's a lot of money in the real world. It doesn't sound $1 million doesn't sound like hardly anything in NHL dollars. I just don't understand why these old guys keep okay.
You've already got Foligno there, right? As the veteran old guy, good in that sort of guy.
Keep the kids and bring them along. Like Pat couldn't keep up last year. I liked him as a player for a long time.
Yeah.
Couldn't keep up.
And they're in that spot. They got all kinds of cap space. They can spend all they want. Just supplement the roster with some veterans, I guess, because they look like they're going to be young.
You got to keep up.
But that one was interesting. Teravainen goes back. He was originally a Chicago Blackhawk. Laurent Brossoit, Larry Brossoit signs there as well. And TJ Brody, 2 years, 3.75 per. Good luck, Tej. Was good in Toronto, and then was kind of in and out of the lineup.
Was good in Toronto, and then really wasn't.
And seemed like he really wasn't. So
on a not very deep decor, correct?
Yeah, not real deep. Sean Monahan, Columbus Blue Jackets. 5 years, $5.5 million each.
Do you want to smash your head against the wall when you hear that? Like,
walk me through it.
For me, I want to smash my head against the wall because we got rid of him and threw a first in. Just here you go.
Yeah,
he can't play anymore. He's the shits, and now he's gonna go make 5.5 or whatever for 5 more years in Columbus. And I don't think he was a player he was, but we could have just sat on that contract. We wouldn't have a Kadri contract probably because they wouldn't have been able to afford him, and we would have it goes back to asset management and how it was not managed in those circumstances.
Yeah, that was not ideal.
It
to
was
be sure.
Insanity.
Yeah, that was a rough off season. In hindsight, you can't do anything about Gaudreau, I guess. Nope. You tried. You did everything you could, and you can go back. Well, should you have signed them? Okay, there's so many layers, but for that offseason, Tkachuk needs out. You got what looked to be a very good, fair deal, and then you sign them, and that was an emotional signing, which is, and Pinder said it, that's not a Treliving calling card. He takes time. He's patient. With RFAs, he makes them wait. This was Calgary's taking a shit kicking. Everyone thinks the Calgary's a shit town. Here's a guy that wants to stay. Let's sign him. And
here's a guy that wants to stay. That's not a guy. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. And then, are they better this year? They might be better this year than they were last year because Monahan or
retool is where we're at, folks. Retool.
Huberdeau's this, and Yegor is that. All that goes in. They trade. We can sign Nazem Kadri, but we don't have this. We'd have to get rid of Monahan, but we'd have to give a first for someone to take him.
Really need Kadri.
And you know what? Now, I guess if you're done beating your head against the wall, did you see any of this happening with Monahan? Because he was so beat up and so banged up. He then went to Montreal and was pretty good, played in Winnipeg, was strong, and now has a 5-year deal.
I didn't see it happening, but I sure as hell didn't see 1 year of giving him a chance. He was either going to get frickin' injured again and be on your IR, or else he was it was 1 year. It was 1 year.
Yeah.
For a good soldier. For a guy that had come up through your ranks and tried to play and had bad luck with injuries and surgeries and all that. And you
probably would be your captain if he didn't leave.
Yeah.
Hard to say. So, of course, the connection there, he and Johnny back together. They'll try and
good luck
rekindle things there. The Oilers were quite busy. They get Jeff Skinner, who was bought out in Buffalo. He's going there on a 1-year deal for $3 million. I heard, if I'm not mistaken, I heard it trotted out there, and maybe it's been because again, I was not around my laptop all day. $100 million in earnings, 0 playoff games for Jeff Skinner. Yeah. And it's not as though he's an old fart or can't play. I like the signing for the Oilers.
$1 million,
right? $3 million is.
You can probably put the puck in the net and play on a power play and score you some goals. And
I don't think he's a malcontent. I think he's a fairly likable guy. He's 32, had 24 goals for the Sabres last year, 35 the year before, 33 the year before that. So the guy can still score. It didn't really work in Buffalo. It looked like it was going to, and that was the. But he comes to Buffalo, puts up a great season with Eichel. Hey, we got to keep Eichel happy. Sign him. Bam.
Yeah. He's completely one-dimensional, and if he's not scoring, he's pretty much useless on your ice. But I think he did I think it did work in Buffalo as far as what he put up for the most, right? Like you just said 25, 35, like
sure, some
really big seasons as far as scoring goals. There were other times where they'd bench him and he was not going to be played by Lindy Ruff. So he wasn't playing the Lindy Ruff style of hockey. $3 million up in Edmonton, a guy that can put the puck in the net with those guys, that's probably a great fit.
It'll be a test of this revamped D that they have. Because like you say, there's a few guys on that Oiler roster that aren't great at keeping the puck out of their own end. This is a guy who would fall into that category. Connor Brown back on a 1-year deal. Corey Perry back 1 year, $1.4 million.
Don't get it.
Just walk me through the contract negotiation. Why is it not league min? We were 1 game away from winning the cup. You want to be here? Okay, we'd like to have you. You're not going to be an every night guy. You're not playing 82, and we'll give you the league minimum. You've made millions of dollars in your. Why is it 1.4? Who are you bidding against?
Why is it anything at all?
Yeah,
you
not sure.
Honestly, and again, Corey Perry on your team, love him, goes to the finals 5 years in a row. You don't need him. He couldn't keep up at the end of this year.
Yeah.
Did he make smart plays? Yeah. Or did he go to the net on that one play when McDavid set him up for an unbelievable? Okay. But don't you want to start filling?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I guess if he's easy enough to bench or whatever, or not, it's not a ton of cap.
But that's why you're benching a guy?
I know.
Or wait, that's why you're signing a guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he's easy to sit in stand. It's like, I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, it's no money. Yes, but it's a roster spot.
Yeah.
It's a roster spot.
They traded for Adam Henrique at the deadline. They keep him 2 years, $3 million per. Matthias Janmark was good for them in that penalty kill energy role, 3 years, gets some term, $1.45 million. And Victor Arvidsson, the former Predator and LA King, goes in 2 years, $4 million per. I was a big fan of Arvidsson when he was with the Predators. Guy has got a motor. He goes, can score, but it hasn't played a full season in a while. Last year, 18 games, 77 before that, 66, 50, 57. Now there's a lockout in there, or the COVID shortened. It just, injuries have kind of dogged him for a little bit. Last year, 6 goals, 15 points in 18 games. I like him. I don't know what he's got left, I guess.
Yeah, if he's healthy, I think it'll be a good signing.
Yeah. But I just wonder, there's probably going to be some guys maybe that you're going to want to pay in the next 2 years.
This is the whole Edmonton. I'm not. Part of the problem with getting close is that you think you're close.
Yeah.
And so you treat it as we're gonna. Who the hell knows? Like, I've been in the room after you lose.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna get there next year. Well, you know what doesn't happen? Not very often do you get there next year. Florida did it, I guess. And teams do it, but there is no guarantees. And if you're going to do Arvidsson, then you shouldn't. I don't know why they're handcuffing themselves so much to the cap.
Because they bought out Campbell to get some salary.
Yeah.
And then, Skinner, $3 million. Okay. Again, I don't know that you need him. I don't know that you do.
All of that stuff to me is like, I don't know if you could have got him, but if you don't re-sign, or if you don't get Skinner and you don't get Arvidsson, that's $7 million, right?
$7 million.
My math. Go get
Corey Perry, 1.4.
Go get a defenseman.
So that's $8.5 million this season. Now Perry's 1 year, Skinner's 1 year, but even by next summer,
you have 1 year.
Do you have? But if
you
you're
might have 1 year to get this done.
You've now got 2 years of Henrique and 3 years of Janmark and 2 years of Arvidsson. I don't know. Everyone seems to really think. I saw people think this Edmonton won yesterday. Edmonton won July 1. And they may have. We will see. Duchesne back to Dallas, 1 year, $3 million. Matt Dumba, 2 years, $5.5 million to go to Dallas. Tyler Toffoli says, I'm tired of moving around, man. I'm tired of it. 4 years, $6 million per in San Jose.
Love it.
He likes California. It's not LA, but it's not bad.
Be all right. Play with me.
All
Play with. Can I play with Celebrini?
Yeah. Can I play with the new kid?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. Speaking of LA, Warren Fogle leaves the Oilers, goes to Los Angeles. Joel Edmondson, who I remember we were talking about it with Pinder, and he was crushing the Joel Edmondson, the move to Toronto at the deadline. It's like, this guy can't fucking play. This guy, I mean, whatever. He's in and out. 4 years, $3.85 million each for Joel Edmondson. Does Rob Blake know what he's doing down there?
Again, I don't know enough about the Kings and roster and holes and what they need, but it does seem like a lot.
Okay, well, we've tap danced around it here. The Toronto Maple Leafs.
The Bucks.
They made a trade prior to July 1 to acquire the rights to Chris Tanev, who we thought this would be great for him. Stay in Dallas. Gonna love it down there.
What a fit.
Don't know what happened, right? Don't know what happened. My guess is someone got in his agent's ear, and then his agent got into Tanev's ear and says, you know what? I have a funny feeling. I haven't talked to anybody because that'd be tampering. But I wonder if there's maybe a 5 or 6 year deal out there that would be available to us. 6 years? Do they know how old I am? Come on, do you play it? No, I think maybe. Just hold off if term is what you want. Anyway, Toronto trades for his rights. They sign him 6 years, $4.5 million per. 6.
Great job, Chris. Great job last year. You maximized your return.
Yeah. It's great for him.
Great for him. Home, too. Isn't that where he's from?
For him. He's from Toronto, right?
There you go. Going home and getting all the dough. And years.
Yeah. Got into...
And I feel bad for the Leaf fans because every hit, you're going to hold your breath, and then he's going to go down the tunnel. And you're like, son of... Is he coming back? I don't know. He's been under there for a long time. Oh, he's back. Oh.
Played 75 games last year, 65 the year before, 82 before that. And we've talked about it. The whole thing was, he's can't stay healthy, can't stay. He was pretty healthy, Calgary Flame.
It's pretty good.
Was a pretty friggin' healthy guy. But he's 34 and signed a 6-year deal. And I get it. We don't care. Treliving, he doesn't care. I've got Tavares right now who can still play. I've got Marner, who I don't think is gonna. I think he's just gonna stay there.
He's not going anywhere,
right? So we use it. Burn the boats. It feels like a burn the boats kind of a day. They bring in the 34-year-old Tanev. Oliver Ekman-Larsson comes in, who was bought out in Vancouver, goes to Florida, 4 years, $3.5 million. Again, it's not so much the dough, but it's the term. It's a 4-year deal for a guy who is well past his prime. I thought he was okay, but
he was okay in the playoffs, but not.
But on that team, in that system, he's 32, so it's 36, 37 by the time he's done. Yanni Hakanpää, the former star, he's again a big, lumbering tough, I guess. He's a big guy. 2 years, 1.5 million. They move on from Samsonov. Their goaltending tandem is going to be Joseph Wall, who got signed to a 3-year deal, 3.66 million, and Anthony Stolarz, who was the Panthers backup. He comes in. So Stolarz and Wall in net, and they add Tanev, Ekman-Larsson, and Hakanpää to their blue line. There's some gray beards there when you start to throw in Tavares isn't the kid either.
It all makes sense from, when you think about it from Treliving's standpoint, where the team is. I just don't know that what they've done. The guys that haven't got them there yet are still going to be the guys that need them to get them there. And what he's done is not going to be Tanev will help if he's healthy. Ekman-Larsson's probably fine.
Yeah.
Hakanpää is not going to be impactful at all. In your goaltending, I don't know. Is that tandem wow ya? Probably not. It's about the big four.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's changed except if it doesn't work out, they're going to be stuck with shitty deals. But maybe if it doesn't work out, those guys are going to go, and all that money and cap crunch isn't going to be a concern.
Yeah, maybe, and the cap keeps going up. And with Tanev, it's like you said about how maybe the Kadri deal goes. Tanev's back; he just can't do it anymore. So it's LTIR, and the Leafs have all the money in the world. They don't care about real dollars.
No,
you get them off the cap and moving on.
That deal, I'm betting that was 2 years longer than what Dallas was.
I can't imagine, because you'd be okay. 4 years, we'll do 4. I think he gets 6. What? Yeah. Who is giving him a 6-year deal?
Because 1 year more, the tax situation in Toronto's probably, I don't know if this is 2 years. Done.
Yeah. And like you say, he's a Toronto guy. Maybe there is that.
He's done damn good and good for him. He's earned it in the way he plays. We all love it. Be happy to watch him compete in Toronto. I don't care. I'm not a Leafs fan, but whatever. I don't think those moves have any impact on, and it's hard to say that because Tanev is a hell of a defender. Yeah. But their depth on defense is still not good enough to me that's what's going to be impactful. Maybe it's not a detriment as much because Tanev fills some holes and Larsson fills some holes that you're not as limited defensively, but it's going to be up to the guys that have been there for the last. It's those guys that have to drive the bus.
A lot can happen, but on dailyfaceoff.com, the way they have their D kind of laid out, Morgan Rielly with Tanev on the right side, Timothy Liljegren on the right side with Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and Jake McCabe, who's a decent guy, and Simon Benoit. I don't even know if he's French. I liked him in the playoffs. I thought he was pretty strong. So it's okay. There's no Victor Hedman or Cale Makar in there, and that's probably unfair. But you needed to upgrade your blue line, and Treliving went to market and did the best, I guess, that he could. And Hakanpää will be in there somewhere as well.
I think what you said is the key. The best that he could. I think there were better defensemen out there that they didn't get, whether they were targeting them or not.
Yeah.
Tanev with Rielly, sure, yeah, I get it in the line. I don't think he should be a top 2. Like if he's playing that many minutes, that's just more wear and tear.
It's hey, listen, we like Tree. Good luck, Tree.
Damn right.
Go get it.
I would bet Treliving is happy with the Tanev sighting, and aside from that, nothing that's happened in the last 2 weeks. I don't mean it. I would bet he was trying to do a lot more, and it didn't work out for him.
I think that's probably true. Bertuzzi really. I thought it was a year ago when they got him. I like this Bertuzzi. Mm-hmm. He got some edge to him. Was just okay as a Leaf. I thought they keep Domi. He resigns to stick around. But I wonder what else would they?
They had to be in the market for a real big time goalie. I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would have expected that. Markstrom, somebody, right? Yeah. Like I just think that I would, again, sitting in my couch.
And maybe,
Calgary,
like maybe Boston isn't going to trade Allmark there because, it's
maybe.
conference division, that whole thing. For a guy like you see here, clearly, Treliving's got all the balls. He'll spend. He doesn't care. Was it 6 years? Whatever. I don't give a shit. Do it. What kept him from getting a Markstrom deal?
I don't know. That one is still confusing to me because the price Markstrom maybe.
Fair enough.
That's probably what it was. Markstrom is probably the reason he didn't get it done. And the Flames ended up with what they got. Because when I look at it, you just look at it, all things being equal. If I'm the Leafs, I'm offering more than what the Flames got from Jersey. But I got to think that Markstrom was like, no, I'm not going there.
What if you're Markstrom? New Jersey or Toronto?
I don't know. I don't know what drives the guy. I mean, clearly he doesn't like.
I just mean for you. If it were you,
Toronto, I'd go to Toronto.
Would you?
I would absolutely. Everyone always bitches. The pressure. What are you talking about? You're trying to win a cup. Does it matter what city you're in? So you go to the market and somebody goes, I was out for pizza yesterday and someone shook my hand. Oh no. Like, what are we talking about? And I get it that if you're a player and but they're treated like gold in Toronto. You win a cup there, you're legendary forever. I would be way more open to Toronto than other people make it seem like it's so hard to play there.
Because you would have, I would think probably when you look at it in terms of chances to win, maybe New Jersey's ahead of Toronto, maybe Toronto's ahead of New Jersey, but feels kind of level, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you want to
coach Markstrom might who's coaching in Jersey? Oh no, he went to Ottawa.
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah. No, it's what was the guy?
Keefe.
Sheldon Keefe. And then
Toronto.
Craig Berube in Toronto.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm guessing Markstrom had it in his head that he would go to Jersey and that's it. And it's his prerogative. You get that.
Yeah.
No move.
Obviously, plenty of other things that went on. A few things will happen here over the next day or so. And we'll keep up on it over the next bit. That's the kind of the thing about free agency. It's such a crazy, especially because Game 7 this year.
Oh,
so you play Game 7 on a Monday.
8 days ago.
They wedged the awards in there for some reason. Just stop with the award show, right? It cannot work. Well, people are this or that. Give out the awards. Done. You can't. It's just you
can't have a big production for every event.
Yeah, you do it. I thought the draft looked great from the Sphere. Looked all of that sort of thing. Good. Do your draft, and now they're not doing the draft next year. They're doing. They're not doing the whole league comes together thing. This was kind of it. So they're gassing the in-person draft, but they're keeping going with the awards. Anyway, I don't know. But yeah, you got the cup on a Monday, the awards, round 1, round 2, day off, free agency. Most teams are already on the ice with their prospect camp. TJ Ginla's been on the ice for 2 days. I mean, it's crazy how they jam all of this in. I don't know. I don't know that there's any other way to do it. I'm not the one doing it, but it's a lot in a short amount of time. And you wonder about teams like Florida or Edmonton who've been kind of occupied. Their efforts have been kind of tied up here the last little bit. Does Edmonton have a GM? Not yet. That was some other news that came out yesterday is Stan Bowman, Al McIsaac, and Joel Quenneville, reinstated by Gary Bettman. They are now free to find work and employment within the National Hockey League after everything that kind of went down in Chicago. And the early rumblings, like real early, is that Stan Bowman may be the front runner for the job in Edmonton to come in and be their general manager. We'll see.
It's the guy there that's been doing all the talking.
Well, Jeff Jackson was
used to be an agent or whatever, right?
He was Connor's agent.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just keep doing it? Do you want to just keep doing it? No, I don't want to. So that's the scoop. as far as that's concerned. That's the Pinder report for you today. Now save the date, August 24th. It'll be here before you know it. It's the 4th annual Honda and Acura Show and Shine. The event gets bigger and better every year. They've got awards for Best in Show, Best in Modified, Best Classic, and new for this year, the People's Choice Award. You can register now online at villagehonda.com as well. They've got the demo clear out ongoing right now. There's only so many demos too, right? It's all they've got 9 pilot demos. Save thousands, potentially hundreds to thousands of dollars on these. Go and check it out online or in person at Village Honda. How's your snoring?
Well, I've been drinking lots, so I'm sure it's been really good.
Yeah, it's funny how that affects that.
Mm-hmm.
But because outdoor dental, right? I didn't really think about it's snoring. So I guess when you're all gibbled, your soft palate gets like everything really, if everything else then you kind of gets loose, so too the soft palate, as it turns out. So yeah, when you're in one. Dentistry with no needles, no drills, no stress. It's the Soleil laser. They use it for their general dentistry. 1 to 2 minutes, you relax, it's pain-free. They can do all of the dental work with the laser. No needles and all that stuff. But it can also improve and cure your snoring. 2 15-minute treatments increases the tension in the soft palate. I don't know. We'll have to look at the fine print. I'm not sure if it guarantees when you're drunk. Like when you've had 9.
Like when you're signing a contract when you're drunk, you're not sure.
That's right. Yeah. Ron Francis may still have been snoring even with the Soleil laser treatment. But no, they go in there. It's non-surgical. It's pain-free because that's what it is. It's the back of your throat. It's a soft palate. And when you're sleeping, it all starts to happen. This tightens things up. 2 15-minute treatments could be covered by your benefits at work. Figure it out. Outdoor.dental is the website. At least find out more. Send them an email. Pay them a visit. They'd love to see you. Get the details. If you don't believe us, they'll have all kinds of examples and experiences and people who can vouch for this. And Pinder did it, and he says it definitely worked for him. So by all means, check this out. And Dr. J's a great guy. Did you talk to Dr. J?
I got to get in to see Dr. J here.
You're going to see Dr. J?
Got to get a kid in too.
He's so good. Great guy. Great guy. Outdoor.dental is the website. So with all that happened yesterday, now I don't know what the odds were on Betway, because now you look at all the changes. Tampa Bay, Stamkos out.
Oh,
Gensel in. Nashville, are they going to do it? Who's it going to be? So I went to see this morning what the Stanley Cup odds were, how they'd been impacted on Betway, because you can do that. All the futures are out for division winners and different things. So there you go with Betway on the Betway app. Get the Betway app. The Cup winner, the Edmonton Oilers, plus 700. So 7-1 there. Florida next at plus 800. Dallas at 900. And then Colorado, New Jersey, and Vancouver at plus 1,000. I guess they like Jake DeBrusk.
Carolina's surprising me that they're still.
Yeah. Yeah. What did they do? Yeah, they brought in Shane Goss to spare Sean Walker. I don't know. I wonder if they've kind of missed it. Went for it with Gensel.
Doesn't it
right?
feel like maybe?
But you lose Shea and Pesci on the back end. I think Goss spares. It was a great, gets bought out, then shows up and plays pretty well. I didn't think Sean Walker was a good fit for Colorado. I don't think that trade worked for them. So I wonder if Rod the Bud has got his work cut out for him there. So there you go. We would recommend you go and check it out for yourself. That, and of course, hockey season's over. There's baseball. There's soccer. There's cricket. Any sport that you're into, you can go and check it out with your Betway app or on the Betway website. But by all means, go and get that in there. Only available outside of Ontario. Only available outside of Ontario for Betway, the official gaming partner of Barnburner. Bet the responsible way with our buddies at Betway. Betway. So we're kind of into summer, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of into summer.
Finally.
Yeah, it seemed like it took a while. The weather may or may not cooperate. Was there snow here last week?
Not that I remember.
I was out of town. My ringy dingy, the camera bell thing
Oh, yeah.
going off bzz, bzz, at like 1 a.m. What the hell's going on? There's like white stuff on the grass. Like it's not accumulating on the sidewalk or anything, but there's I would call it a light dusting.
Really?
That's what I would call it. What the hell? It's the end of
that.
June. It's now July.
Yeah, knock it off.
That Mother Nature, she's a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't at Country Fest though. Jody Messina was. You got to go see this.
Now I got to go see Jody Messina, and then I
Yeah.
was running my mouth about going to hang out with Mace and go to a Riders game. I got a lot to do.
You got to go back there. Got to do it. What are your plans for the summer? You got anything going on?
Oof. Bit of
Or
this,
is it
bit
just
of that.
is it just kids?
Oh, my kids are so good at hockey. Like we're going to be on the ice all summer. It's going to
Yeah,
be
that's
awesome.
right. Yeah.
We're going to skate and train.
Yeah.
And big summer, right,
Yeah.
Dean? Like it's a big year. Big year.
Finally, you'll be able to go and sit inside in a hockey rink.
Yeah. Get
That'll
some
be
ice.
a nice change.
It's going to be good.
That'll be so great.
Love the shit.
Yeah. What about you, Jack? Some
Some stepbrothers.
hanging out with your step bro?
Yeah, I think I'll be in Vancouver Island sometime in July visiting my mom and my stepdad, and that's pretty much it. I got to get down to Montana. I was hoping maybe to go this weekend.
Is anyone going to this Stampede thing?
Are you going to Stampede?
It's a big event coming up in Calgary.
How are we doing with the water? Any water updates? Can we have a shower?
I think everybody's just kind of ignored it for a while now.
You think so? I'm sure they got it figured
She
out.
yelled at everyone the other day for using too much water.
Did she yell? Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Some of this. You people with your showering and dishwashing. Bunch of assholes.
Exact words.
Yeah. Wonder how it's going for her. Seems like it's going really well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She'll be excited to get out to some pancake breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, come and say hi at the
The mayor will be there.
Yeah. Do we know if she'll be leaving town?
Yeah.
So we are officially now into our summer schedule. We will be bringing you Barn Burners every Tuesday and Thursday from now until we decide there's stuff to talk about.
Mhm.
Yeah, until we kind of figure that we want to go back to 5 days a week. But we're going to have some shows. Some of them are going to be like this. They're going to be live. We're going to be either 2 of us or 3 of us hanging out, shooting the shit, hanging out, or we might have the summer vacation editions of Barn Burner where we'll sit down, have some one-on-one conversations, 1-on-2, 2-on-1, have some, just some stuff that we can't do or that we don't do because of how busy everything is. It's a game day. It's a not game day, flame season, hockey, everything's going on. Not really a chance to sit down and have good extended visits with our friends and with interesting people. We're going to be doing that as well over the course of the summer. We'll start trotting those out probably by next week. I would think on Thursday we can reconvene this thing and there'll be some signings and some other things going on, but we can have a little one of these, and then by next week we'll get into the summer vacation mode. Although I'm kind of there already.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, kind of there already. Are you Calgary on Thursday?
I'm Calgary on Thursday. I'll be
Very
here.
nice. Very nice. We don't know about Pinder. He was in Vegas and then couldn't get out of Vegas. I believe it was a significant outlay of cash on another airline to get out of Vegas because not everybody did.
Nafu.
Yeah, I saw there were quite a few of the ladies and gentlemen who had gone to cover the draft who were still hanging out at the MGM Grand by yesterday. The draft was
yesterday
Friday.
even. Wow.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too. Maybe not so eager to get back.
Not.
Babe, I don't know what to tell you. These mechanics, the strike ended yesterday. the flights are back. What?
No.
Damn it, I got a massage
Listen to-
booked for tomorrow at Caesars. Fuck. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it. We'll be back on Thursday. Hope you're enjoying your summer. And yeah, people say, give Conroy a big thumbs up. Hey, everybody that knows anything about the draft sure think that the Flames and Craig had a great draft and didn't go crazy in free agency. Perfect. Attaboy, Craig. Keep listening. Keep
that phone off.
You know what to do.
Got your back.
Your boys here. We'll let you know. I need to find this thing because then if I press this, then the show ends. That'll do it. See you, buddies.